Introduction. In a world that increasingly values visibility and public acknowledgement, the pursuit of success often comes with an inherent pressure to share every detail of one's journey. Social media platforms, blogs, podcasts, and even casual conversations with friends and colleagues push us to flaunt our achievements, announce our goals, and seek constant validation. This constant need for public affirmation can distract us from what truly matters, the quiet, unseen work that forms the foundation of any significant achievement. The truth is, there is immense power in silence, in focusing deeply on your craft behind closed doors, and in letting your results speak for themselves when the time is right. The most successful people, across various fields, often operate on this principle, working tirelessly in private, honing their skills, developing their ideas, and executing their plans without feeling the need to broadcast every step. The louder you shout about what you're doing, the more likely you are to invite distractions, criticisms, and competitors who might disrupt your focus. There's a beauty in doing the work with no fanfare, letting the quiet moments of preparation culminate into explosive, undeniable success. It's a strategy not of avoidance, but of selective visibility, being seen only when your work is ready to be seen and not a moment sooner. This book is for those who are tired of sharing every detail of their process in an attempt to stay relevant or gain approval. It's for the ambitious, the dreamers, the creators, and the doers who understand that the real magic happens when you focus in private and win in public. It's for those who have grown weary of the noise and the pressure to perform publicly at every stage, instead of seeking validation through early announcements or excessive promotion. This book champions the idea of allowing your work to become your message and your success to become your story. The idea of focusing in private and winning in public isn't about secrecy for the sake of secrecy. It's about leveraging privacy as a strategic tool for mental clarity, creative freedom, and long-term success. The world doesn't need to know what you're doing every minute of the day. In fact, the less you reveal, the more you protect the integrity of your vision and shield yourself from unnecessary external influence. When you focus on your craft without the pressure to prove yourself to others, you're more likely to make decisions based on what's best for you and your future, not what will garner the most likes, comments, or attention in the present. When you keep your plans private, you retain the flexibility to experiment, fail, adjust, and ultimately succeed without the burden of explaining or justifying your every move. The process of creation and innovation can be delicate, requiring space and time to develop fully. The noise of external opinions and the relentless pursuit of social recognition often disrupt this delicate process. That's why so many of the most successful people, the ones who have built empires, launched groundbreaking inventions, or created art that will last for generations, were secretive about their work during its early stages. They knew that the public phase of success is not the time for trial and error, but the time to showcase what has already been carefully crafted in private. The truth is that the most profound and impactful wins don't happen in the spotlight. They happen in the quiet, unseen moments when you're working on yourself, your craft, and your dreams without the expectation of immediate recognition. Success takes time, effort, and persistence, qualities that thrive in silence. We live in a society that's obsessed with results and the public acknowledgement of those results. But this obsession can obscure the more important work, the preparation, the refining, and the unglamorous grind that precedes any major breakthrough. This book aims to shift the focus from instant gratification and public praise to a more disciplined, long-term approach to achieving success. It's about understanding that what happens behind the scenes is just as important, if not more so, than what's shared in public. When you focus on the work and let the results speak for themselves, you'll find that success becomes a natural byproduct of your dedication. In the chapters that follow, we will explore the power of silence, the importance of internal motivation over external validation, and the strategic advantage of keeping your most important plans close to your chest until the time is right. The act of working in private is not about hiding your successes from the world. It's about building something of true value, something that doesn't need constant validation. It's about creating a foundation that's strong enough to withstand the weight of public expectations when the time comes to share your journey. In this book, We will dive into the stories of individuals who have followed this path, those who worked quietly, perfected their craft, and emerged into the public eye with results that could not be ignored. By the end of this book, you will understand how to cultivate a mindset that thrives on private mastery and disciplined focus. You will learn how to embrace the power of working in silence, how to protect your vision from distractions, and how to let your actions and results take center stage. Success, after all, isn't about how loud you can shout. It's about how effectively you can work when no one is watching and how you can let your public success unfold naturally when the time is right. If you've ever felt the urge to announce your every move, share every small win, or let the world know what you're working on, this book is here to guide you toward a more strategic, focused approach. The real winners in life don't seek attention. They simply do the work, stay consistent, and let the world catch up when the time comes. Let's explore how you can embrace this philosophy, focus in private, and win in public. Chapter 1. The Power of Silence. In an age dominated by social media, instant communication, and an ever-growing desire for attention, silence has become an increasingly rare and undervalued commodity. People are accustomed to oversharing, detailing every step of their journey, posting real-time updates, and seeking external validation for their efforts. Yet, beneath this noise lies a powerful force: silence. Silence, in the context of personal and professional growth, is not merely the absence of sound, but the intentional act of keeping one's thoughts, strategies, and progress private. This quiet, behind-the-scenes work is where true mastery is developed. In a world that demands constant visibility, silence is the true strength that allows individuals to build without distraction, to think deeply, and to execute their plans with precision and confidence. The power of silence lies in its ability to protect and nurture what you are creating. It serves as a shield, allowing you to focus on what matters most: execution, rather than on seeking approval or validation from the outside world. When you keep your plans, goals, and strategies private, you remove the pressure of constantly explaining yourself. This silence becomes your secret weapon, the space in which you can think clearly, work deeply, and make decisions based on your vision, not the opinions of others. Keeping plans, goals, and strategies private doesn't mean isolating yourself from others, nor does it imply that you should never seek advice or mentorship. Rather, it emphasizes the importance of maintaining control over the narrative of your journey. When you reveal too much too soon, you risk diverting your attention from what's truly important, building something solid, to managing expectations and defending your ideas. Too often, we share our aspirations, not out of need for advice or support, but because we seek acknowledgement. We want to be seen and heard, and in doing so, we inadvertently expose ourselves to unnecessary distractions. When you announce your intentions to the world prematurely, you open yourself up to the opinions and judgments of others. These external forces can be overwhelming, creating noise that drowns out your own voice. The opinions of well-meaning friends and family members, colleagues, or even strangers on the internet, while often intended to be helpful, can cloud your judgment and influence your decisions in ways that are detrimental to your progress. People may doubt your capabilities, criticize your ideas, or offer unsolicited advice that may derail you from your true path. By keeping your plans private, you avoid unnecessary interference and protect the integrity of your vision. Moreover, oversharing can lead to a dangerous cycle of seeking validation rather than focusing on execution. In a world that thrives on instant gratification, it can be tempting to share small victories or milestones in order to receive praise or recognition. However, this external validation often comes at the expense of long-term progress. The more you seek acknowledgement for each step along the way, the less energy you have to dedicate to the actual work required to achieve your goals. The pursuit of external validation can become a form of distraction, preventing you from doing the deep, meaningful work necessary for success. The risks of oversharing extend beyond distraction and judgment. Another significant risk is competition. In today's fast-paced world, ideas spread quickly, and so do the people who notice and act on them. When you share your plans, especially those that are unique or innovative, you risk inspiring others to follow your path or, worse, beat you to it. Competition thrives in an environment where information is freely shared, and once an idea is out in the open, it is no longer solely yours. Even if you trust those you confide in, you can never fully control how your ideas will be received or acted upon. By keeping your plans private, you maintain an element of control over your strategy, ensuring that your actions remain your own and that you are not distracted or disrupted by outside forces. Real-life examples of successful people who kept their business under wraps serve as powerful lessons in the value of silence. Take the case of Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple. Throughout much of his career, Jobs was known for his secrecy and his reluctance to reveal too much about Apple's upcoming products. He believed that the process of creating new technology was sacred and that revealing too much in advance would diminish the impact of the final product. Jobs was notorious for his tight-lipped approach, only unveiling new products when they were fully realized and ready to make an impact. This sense of mystery, combined with his dedication to excellence, allowed Apple to create revolutionary products that changed the world. Jobs understood that success comes not from boasting about your ideas, but from delivering on your promises when the time is right. Another example is J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before the global success of her books, Rowling was living in relative obscurity, keeping her writing process private. She did not share her manuscript with the world, nor did she announce her ambitions of becoming a published author to anyone other than a few close friends. Rowling worked quietly, honing her craft and building her story. It was only when she had a finished product, a book ready to be shared with the world, that she allowed herself to be seen. The result was not just a best-selling book, but a global phenomenon that has continued to captivate audiences for decades. Rowling's story is a testament to the power of silence in the creative process, showing that sometimes the best thing you can do is stay focused, stay private, and let your work speak for itself. Similarly, Elon Musk, known for his bold ideas and technological ventures, has often been described as someone who works in private before revealing his innovations to the world. His approach to launching companies like Tesla and SpaceX involved years of quiet development and preparation. Musk did not share every step of his journey, nor did he boast about his ambitious plans in the early stages. Instead, he focused on executing his vision and bringing his ideas to fruition before unveiling them to the public. His success is a direct result of this philosophy. He works in silence, allowing his results to make the noise. By staying focused on the long-term goal and resisting the urge to constantly update the world on his progress, Musk has been able to revolutionize multiple industries. These examples highlight a fundamental truth. The most successful people are often the ones who work quietly and let their actions speak louder than their words. They understand that the world doesn't need to know every move they make. What matters is the work they're doing in private, the strategies they are executing without fanfare, and the results they deliver when the time is right. The key takeaway from this chapter is simple yet profound. The world doesn't need to know your every move. What matters is what you do behind the scenes. Silence is not a weakness. It is a powerful tool that enables you to focus on execution rather than validation. Chapter 2. The dangers of seeking external validation. In a society that thrives on visibility, recognition, and constant feedback, the quest for approval has become almost ingrained in human behavior. We live in an era where external validation is sought at every turn, whether through social media likes, career advancements, or compliments from peers. We're taught to seek affirmation, whether it's from our friends, family, colleagues, or even strangers on the internet. This external feedback is often seen as a measure of success, a validation of our worth, and a sign that we're on the right path. But the reality is that this dependence on approval from others can be a major hindrance to personal growth, often leading us away from our true potential and delaying the very progress we seek. The need for approval is deeply rooted in our psychology. As social creatures, humans have evolved to seek connection and acceptance from their communities. In prehistoric times, acceptance within a group was critical for survival. It meant protection, access to resources, and the potential for shared success. Our brains are wired to respond to social cues, and positive reinforcement, such as praise or recognition, activates the brain's reward system, giving us a sense of accomplishment and belonging. This deeply ingrained need for approval is not inherently negative. In fact, it plays a vital role in fostering social cohesion and promoting cooperation. However, in the modern world, where public approval is often tied to external measures such as social media likes, followers, or material success, this need for validation can easily spiral into an unhealthy dependency. When we seek validation from others, we shift our focus from internal motivations to external ones. Instead of being driven by our own passion, purpose, or vision, we become motivated by the desire to be seen, admired, or accepted. This shift in focus can be particularly dangerous for personal growth because it places our sense of self-worth in the hands of others. It leaves us vulnerable to the whims of society's ever-changing expectations. One day, you may be celebrated for an accomplishment. The next, you may be ignored or criticized. This constant fluctuation in external feedback creates a fragile sense of identity and can lead to feelings of insecurity, self-doubt, and even anxiety. The psychological effects of seeking external validation are far-reaching. When we constantly seek approval, we often find ourselves chasing the next compliment, the next recognition, or the next milestone to feel good about ourselves. This external dependence leads to a form of validation addiction, an endless cycle where one praise or acknowledgement is never enough. Each success becomes hollow without the reinforcement of others' praise. This craving for approval can distract us from our true goals, leading us to make decisions based on what will be seen as right by others, rather than what aligns with our personal values or long-term aspirations. As we chase approval, we may also begin to lose touch with our authentic selves. Instead of following our passions or building something meaningful to us, we become fixated on crafting an image that pleases others. We modify our behavior, speech, and actions to fit into the mold of what society expects from us, sacrificing our uniqueness in the process. Over time, this disconnection from our true selves can manifest as burnout, frustration, and a deep sense of unfulfillment. The more we rely on external validation, the more we distance ourselves from the source of true satisfaction, our inner drive and purpose. Seeking validation can also delay progress because it causes us to become reactive rather than proactive. We become more focused on how others perceive us, rather than on the work that needs to be done. When we are constantly seeking approval, we often wait for confirmation before taking the next step or making a decision. This dependence on outside feedback can lead to stagnation. We may hold off on taking risks, launching projects, or making bold moves until we receive external validation that we are on the right track. This delays our growth and prevents us from taking the necessary steps to achieve our goals. In contrast, internal motivation is the driving force that leads to sustainable success. Internal motivation is rooted in a personal sense of purpose, passion, and belief in one's own abilities. It is not reliant on external opinions, accolades, or praise. Instead, it comes from within, driven by a deep understanding of why you are pursuing your goals in the first place. When you are internally motivated, you do not need constant validation from others to keep moving forward. You know what you want to achieve, and you are willing to put in the work regardless of whether anyone is watching or applauding. This kind of motivation is not fleeting, it is steady, long-lasting, and self-sustaining. When you are motivated from within, you are more resilient to the ups and downs of external feedback. Negative opinions, criticism, or a lack of recognition no longer have the same power over you. You can continue to move forward, trusting that your efforts are aligned with your vision, even when the world around you may not fully understand or appreciate what you are doing. This resilience allows you to stay focused on your long-term goals and make consistent progress, even in the face of adversity or opposition. Moreover, internal motivation fosters a sense of personal ownership and responsibility for your success. When you rely on your own inner drive, you take full responsibility for both your successes and failures. This sense of accountability empowers you to learn from your mistakes and continue improving without needing others to approve of your process. You are more likely to take bold risks, experiment with new ideas, and embrace challenges, knowing that your worth is not determined by others' opinions. This autonomy is a key ingredient in building sustainable, meaningful success. It is essential to understand that seeking external validation is not inherently bad. There are moments when feedback from others can be invaluable, providing insight, encouragement, and constructive criticism. However, when validation becomes the primary driving force behind your actions, it can undermine your ability to achieve your highest potential. When you place your worth in the hands of others, you give away your power and lose sight of your true purpose. The key takeaway from this chapter is that your worth is not determined by others' opinions. The need for approval can be a powerful force, but can also be a major roadblock to personal growth and success. By shifting your focus from external validation to internal motivation, you can cultivate a deeper sense of purpose, resilience, and long-term success. Your vision should be guided by your own values and aspirations, not by the ever-changing opinions of those around you. Focus inward, trust in your own abilities, and let your actions and results speak for themselves. True success comes not from pleasing others, but from staying true to yourself and relentlessly pursuing your goals with unwavering commitment. Chapter 3. The Art of Quiet Preparation. In the age of instant gratification and public performance, it's easy to forget that every visible success, every moment of achievement that makes headlines, is the result of countless hours of private, behind-the-scenes work. There is an art to quiet preparation, an art that is often unseen and uncelebrated, but is undeniably the foundation for all lasting success. The world is fascinated by the public triumphs, the product launches, the record-breaking performances, the viral moments, but few realize that these are the end result of painstaking, often solitary efforts that take place long before the world ever notices. The importance of behind-the-scenes work cannot be overstated. It is during these private moments, away from the spotlight, that the foundation for public success is laid. In the quiet preparation phase, ideas are conceived, plans are refined, and skills are honed. This is the time for trial and error, for course corrections, for learning from mistakes without the pressure of public judgment. In essence, this period of isolation is where visionaries, creators, and innovators build the substance of their eventual success. They are not concerned with validation or recognition in the moment. Instead, they are focused on becoming the best version of themselves and their craft, trusting that when the time is right, their work will speak for itself. When we look at public success, we often only see the polished, finished product. We are captivated by the outcome, the electrifying stage performance, the groundbreaking product launch, the powerful book release, but we rarely see the countless hours of preparation that precede it. There is a quiet discipline in working without the expectation of immediate rewards or feedback. This discipline is what separates those who achieve sustained success from those who burn out quickly in the face of the need for instant recognition. The ability to work without external validation requires patience, focus, and resilience, qualities that are essential for anyone who seeks long-term success. Behind every great success story, there is a period of preparation that is often overlooked. Take the example of Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla and SpaceX. Musk is known for his ambitious goals, from revolutionizing the electric car industry to making space travel accessible to the general public. However, what is often overlooked is the immense amount of quiet preparation that took place long before these companies became household names. Musk worked tirelessly behind the scenes, sometimes for years, without any immediate recognition or feedback. He invested countless hours in learning about the technologies that would shape the future of energy and space travel, experimenting, failing, and iterating in private. His companies did not become successes overnight. They were the result of years of hard work, often with little outside acknowledgement, while Musk quietly cultivated his vision. What's even more remarkable about Musk's journey is that the public had little to no idea about the scale of his efforts until they were ready to be unveiled. SpaceX's first successful rocket launch, Tesla's breakthrough electric cars, and the announcement of the first private company to send astronauts to the International Space Station were all the result of years of preparation and private work. Musk's quiet preparation laid the groundwork for these monumental achievements. In his case, it was not just about creating a product or a company. It was about becoming a master of his craft, consistently refining his skills and ideas in isolation. When the time came, his public performance was not just impressive, it was groundbreaking. Similarly, Beyoncé, the world-renowned singer and businesswoman, embodies the power of quiet preparation. Known for her electrifying performances and vocal prowess, Beyoncé's success is the product of years of work in private. Long before the public saw her on stage or heard her chart-topping albums, she was spending countless hours rehearsing, refining her dance moves, and perfecting her vocal technique. Beyoncé is famous for her meticulous attention to detail, and this is evident in the hours of preparation that go into each of her performances. She spends months, sometimes even years, perfecting her craft behind closed doors, often working in solitude with her team. When she finally takes the stage, the world sees a flawless performance, but it is the culmination of private efforts, hours of practice, and a disciplined approach to her artistry. Beyoncé's ability to work quietly, without seeking immediate validation or feedback, is what allows her to continuously raise the bar with every new album, tour, or performance. Her success is not a result of seeking public approval at every stage of her career, but rather from consistently mastering her craft in private and trusting that the audience would recognize her dedication when the time was right. Her career is a testament to the power of behind-the-scenes work and the discipline of preparing in isolation. The discipline of working without immediate rewards or feedback is not easy. It requires a level of patience and self-assurance that many find difficult to maintain. In today's world, where success is often measured by the number of likes, followers, or comments we receive, it can be hard to work without the constant reassurance of external validation. However, those who achieve lasting success understand that the most meaningful achievements are not those that come quickly or easily. They are the ones that are built on years of quiet effort, persistence, and dedication to the craft. The art of quiet preparation is also about developing a deep sense of trust in the process. It's about believing that the work you're putting in, even if no one is watching, will eventually pay off. This is the mindset that allows individuals to push through the tough times when the world seems indifferent to their efforts. It's the belief that the work itself is worthwhile, regardless of the external rewards. This mindset is crucial for anyone who wants to build something meaningful, as it frees them from the pressure of instant gratification and external praise. By focusing on the preparation and trusting that the public success will come when the time is right, individuals can avoid the pitfalls of burnout and disillusionment. The quiet preparation process also allows for deep learning and growth. In private, you are free to make mistakes, experiment, and explore without fear of judgment. You have the space to refine your skills, test new ideas, and learn from your failures. This period of experimentation is invaluable because it enables you to fully develop your capabilities and understand your strengths and weaknesses. When you work in isolation, you can take the time to truly master your craft, to become the best version of yourself in your chosen field. This process of growth and mastery is essential for achieving long-term success because it ensures that when you do eventually step into the public eye, you are not merely a flash in the pan, but someone who is deeply skilled and prepared to handle the pressures that come with visibility. The key takeaway from this chapter is simple yet profound. Master the craft of preparation in isolation, and you will be rewarded with a more impactful public performance. Quiet preparation may seem invisible, but it is the foundation for all meaningful success. Chapter 4. Harnessing the Power of Privacy for Strategy. In the hustle and bustle of modern life, it's easy to forget that some of the most groundbreaking ideas and successful ventures are conceived not in the spotlight, but in the quiet, private spaces where creators and strategists can think freely and deeply. Harnessing the power of privacy for strategy is a concept that has been long understood by successful entrepreneurs, artists, and visionaries throughout history. The ability to create powerful strategies in solitude, away from the distractions of the outside world, is a crucial element in developing plans that are not only innovative but also durable and effective. When we remove the noise, the opinions of others, and the constant need for validation, we create the conditions for true creativity, clarity, and focus. Creating strategies in solitude allows individuals to think without limitation or external influence. It's in these private moments that the seeds of revolutionary ideas are sown. When we think alone, we are free from the constraints imposed by others' expectations, opinions, or judgments. There is no need to second-guess ourselves, no pressure to conform, and no fear of being criticized. In solitude, we are free to explore unconventional ideas, to challenge the status quo, and to entertain possibilities that might seem impractical in the public eye. This freedom is essential for creative thinking because it fosters an environment where imagination and innovation can thrive. When we are surrounded by external noise, whether in the form of well-meaning advice, societal pressures, or the constant stream of information from the internet and social media, it's easy to lose sight of our true vision. We may start to second-guess ourselves, watering down our ideas to fit the expectations of others, or we may become discouraged by criticisms that would not have been relevant had we been working in solitude. The strategic advantage of keeping ideas and plans private until execution is that it allows us to hold on to the purity of our vision. By protecting our thoughts and ideas from external interference, we can ensure that our plans are not shaped by fleeting trends or the opinions of others, but by our own insights, instincts, and understanding of what we truly want to achieve. This process of strategic thinking in privacy provides a unique advantage. It enables individuals to develop solutions to problems that may not yet be recognized by the wider world. Often, the most successful strategies are the ones that break from conventional thinking and are seen as bold or risky. Yet, in private, we have a space to think through these bold ideas without the fear of being dismissed or ridiculed. The ability to nurture ideas in isolation creates a sense of confidence in the strategy we develop, and this confidence becomes a driving force when it's time to share our ideas with the world. Silence plays an indispensable role in this process. It offers us the opportunity to clear our minds, to focus, and to tap into our creative potential without distraction. When we are constantly bombarded by external stimuli, our minds become cluttered and the flow of ideas is interrupted. But in a quiet, private space, we can fully engage with our thoughts, work through problems, and refine strategies in a way that simply isn't possible when we're constantly reacting to the world around us. Silence, in this sense, is not just the absence of sound. It is the presence of mental clarity. It's in these moments of stillness that we can access our deepest insights, allowing us to form strategies that are both creative and grounded in our long-term vision. The psychological benefits of having a personal, protected space to nurture big ideas cannot be overstated. In such a space, we are not only free from external distractions, but we also experience a deep sense of mental and emotional freedom. This protected space allows us to connect more deeply with our inner thoughts and desires, tapping into a sense of purpose that might otherwise be buried under the weight of daily responsibilities and external pressures. We can think critically and strategically, breaking down complex problems into manageable pieces, and slowly constructing a framework for success. Privacy provides a sense of safety, a place where we can fail without judgment and try new things without fear. When we make mistakes in private, there is no public backlash or criticism. These failures become stepping stones, opportunities for learning and growth, instead of reasons for self-doubt. This sense of psychological safety is essential for creativity because it allows us to take risks and explore ideas that we might otherwise shy away from in a more public setting. In private, we can be our most authentic selves, unafraid of others' expectations, and free to follow our own path. In addition to the mental clarity that privacy brings, working in solitude can also help us refine our ideas to a level of sophistication that would not be possible if we were constantly seeking approval or feedback from others. The process of working alone allows us to dive deeper into the intricacies of our strategies, to ask difficult questions, and to push ourselves to improve on every aspect of our plans. This is where true mastery is developed, not through quick fixes or superficial changes, but through a deep, focused effort to perfect every detail. Another crucial benefit of keeping strategies private until they are fully realized is the ability to protect the integrity of the idea. In the early stages of any venture, ideas are fragile. They are still being formed, shaped, and tested. By sharing them too early, we risk exposing them to premature criticism or misunderstanding. Even well-meaning individuals may inadvertently stifle our creativity by pointing out flaws or suggesting changes that don't align with our vision. The early stages of strategy development require a level of protection from the outside world. When the time comes to share the idea with others, whether with a small team, potential investors, or the public, we are presenting something that has been carefully thought out, tested, and refined, rather than a work in progress that may not yet reflect its full potential. The time spent in private strategizing also enables a deeper connection with the long-term goals that drive us. When we are working in solitude, we can connect with the larger vision and mission behind our efforts. Without external distractions or the pressure of immediate results, we are free to consider the bigger picture and make decisions that will serve our long-term success, rather than opting for short-term wins or compromises. This long-term focus is essential for creating strategies that are not only innovative but also sustainable. As we emerge from the private space where our strategies have been carefully crafted, the public execution of these plans becomes all the more powerful. The world sees not the uncertainty or the initial struggle, but the clarity, the confidence, and the carefully honed execution of a strategy that has been built from a place of mental clarity. When the time is right to reveal your ideas, you do so with the assurance that they are sound, well-constructed, and ready to stand on their own merits. The power of privacy is that it allows for this level of preparation, ensuring that when you do step into the spotlight, your strategy will shine. Chapter 5. How to use social media and public platforms wisely. In today's interconnected world, social media and public platforms have become powerful tools for success. These platforms offer unparalleled opportunities for individuals and businesses to showcase their talents, reach new audiences, and connect with like-minded people. However, while social media offers immense potential for growth and visibility, it also carries risks. The line between strategic sharing and oversharing is incredibly thin, and many people find themselves trapped in a cycle of constantly updating their followers, offering glimpses into every aspect of their lives, or feeling pressured to provide continuous content. Managing public visibility wisely in the digital age requires a thoughtful approach, one that allows individuals to remain visible and influential while maintaining their privacy and integrity. Managing public visibility begins with understanding the value and the consequences of every post, tweet, story, or update shared online. In the digital age, what we choose to reveal is permanent. Every post, even if deleted, leaves a digital footprint that can be retrieved, reshared, or stored indefinitely. With this in mind, it becomes crucial to understand the balance between sharing and oversharing. Social media platforms, especially those that rely on visual content, such as Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, can create an illusion of intimacy, where every personal milestone, thought, or idea seems fair game for public consumption. However, the more we reveal about ourselves, the more we risk losing control over our narrative. When every small detail is shared with the world, we not only expose ourselves to external judgments and opinions, but we also diminish the mystery and allure that come with keeping certain aspects of our lives private. The balance between sharing and oversharing is delicate, and it requires careful consideration of what, when, and how to reveal information. Oversharing occurs when individuals feel compelled to disclose too much too soon, or when they let the urge for validation dictate what they post. The desire for likes, comments, and affirmation can cloud judgment, leading people to post more frequently, more personally, or in ways that may not be aligned with their true selves. When you share too much, too often, you open yourself up to scrutiny, unwanted opinions, and even criticism. What starts as a genuine attempt to connect or share can quickly become a cycle of seeking external validation, leaving you vulnerable and exposed. On the other hand, sharing selectively and strategically can help build your public persona without compromising your private life or personal integrity. The key to successful social media use lies in managing what we choose to share with the world, while keeping certain aspects of our lives reserved for private reflection. Public visibility is powerful, but it can be easily manipulated, distorted, or misunderstood. Not every accomplishment, personal event, or thought needs to be shared. In fact, withholding certain pieces of information can add depth to your persona and help you maintain control over your narrative. Successful individuals often master the art of sharing enough to stay relevant, while keeping their most important thoughts, strategies, and plans behind closed doors. It's not about hiding who you are. It's about choosing which aspects of your life you reveal and when. Another crucial aspect of managing public visibility is maintaining a private life while being successful in public spaces. Success in the digital era often requires exposure, whether it's through engaging with followers, posting content consistently, or promoting a business. But in order to thrive in public, it's important to create boundaries between your public and private lives. This may mean not sharing every personal detail on your social media platforms or avoiding the temptation to over-explain yourself. It also involves creating time and space for yourself outside of the online world. Public visibility does not require you to be on at all times, nor does it demand that you give access to every part of your life. The most successful individuals are those who have mastered the art of privacy by curating their personal life in such a way that the public only sees what they want it to see. These individuals understand that true power lies in maintaining an air of mystery and in being selective with the aspects of their lives that they choose to share. In the digital age, it's also possible to have a successful public persona while still preserving your privacy. This requires intentionality and a clear understanding of the difference between what the world needs to know and what is meant to be kept private. Your social media presence should be a reflection of your brand, your values, and your goals, not a constant stream of personal updates. Creating a public persona rooted in authenticity is a powerful way to maintain privacy while being visible. Authenticity on social media is not about oversharing every thought or feeling. It's about presenting a truthful, consistent image that aligns with your values and goals, while still maintaining control over the details of your life. When you create a public persona that is rooted in authenticity, you allow your audience to connect with the essence of who you are without the need for excessive exposure. Authenticity is about being genuine, but it also requires boundaries. It's about sharing enough of yourself so that others can relate to you, while still keeping the deeper layers of your life private. This doesn't mean that you need to hide your true self, but rather that you maintain a level of discretion and respect for your own privacy. Social media is a tool for connection, but it's important to remember that connection doesn't necessarily require full transparency. You can be authentic without revealing everything. In addition to creating an authentic public persona, it's important to use social media as a tool for growth rather than as a platform for oversharing your every move. Social media is an incredibly powerful tool for personal and professional development when used wisely. It offers a platform to share knowledge, connect with mentors and peers, promote your work, and build your brand. However, it should not be used as a constant diary or personal journal where every thought and emotion is broadcast to the world. The key to using social media wisely is to focus on the long-term value it can offer, whether it's growing a business, building a personal brand, or establishing authority in a field, while avoiding the temptation to use it for short-term validation. To use social media as a tool for growth, you must be intentional with your posts. Rather than focusing on posting for the sake of posting, think about what you want to accomplish with each update, each piece of content, and each interaction. Social media can be a valuable asset for personal and professional growth when it is used to highlight your expertise, share valuable insights, and build meaningful connections with others in your field. You can curate your content to showcase your skills, values, and knowledge, allowing you to establish credibility and position yourself as a thought leader in your industry. Chapter 6. The benefits of letting your results speak. In a world where visibility is often considered synonymous with success, it can be easy to fall into the trap of feeling that you must constantly broadcast your every achievement, step, or milestone. Social media, personal branding, and self-promotion are now seen as essential elements of success, especially for entrepreneurs, creatives, and thought leaders. But there's an often overlooked, yet profoundly powerful concept at play: winning in public without boasting. This approach, which is grounded in humility, restraint, and confidence, allows success to speak for itself, without the need for constant explanation, self-congratulation, or oversharing. The result is a more impactful, lasting success that doesn't rely on external validation, but rather on the quality and authenticity of your work. The idea of letting success speak for itself hinges on a deep understanding of the nature of true accomplishment. Success, in its purest form, is not about shouting from the rooftops or trying to convince others that you've made it. Instead, it's about doing the work, focusing on what matters, and allowing the results to naturally capture attention. There is immense power in being able to let the fruits of your labor shine on their own, without the need for excessive self-promotion or public declarations. When your success is the result of consistent effort, skill, and determination, it will inevitably speak louder than any words ever could. The key to letting your results speak lies in focusing on the process, not the product of the process. Many people make the mistake of focusing too much on the journey, telling others about every step along the way, seeking validation or applause from peers and followers before they've truly reached the destination. The reality is that the work itself is often far more compelling than the narrative built around it. Sharing every twist and turn of your progress might make you feel seen, but can also distract you from the end goal. When you allow your success to unfold naturally, when you focus on the work rather than promoting it prematurely, you build something far more substantial, something that doesn't need constant validation, but that speaks for itself when the time is right. This mindset requires a shift in thinking, particularly in today's culture of instant gratification. The need to publicly announce achievements and seek recognition is strong, and it's often tempting to share every milestone, no matter how small. However, there is something deeply impactful about letting your results unfold quietly, almost anonymously at first, until they are fully formed and undeniable. When your success is truly earned, it doesn't need to be explained. It stands on its own, attracting attention and admiration without the need for constant explanation. Those who focus on their work, refining it in solitude, and without the urge to announce every step, often find that when they do reveal their success, it lands with far more impact than if they had been continuously broadcasting their progress all along. Looking at real-world examples, there are numerous individuals and companies who have thrived by focusing on their work rather than prematurely promoting it. Take the example of Apple and its co-founder, Steve Jobs. Throughout much of his career, Jobs was known for keeping product development under wraps, revealing Apple's innovations only when they were ready to be unveiled to the public. Apple's greatest moments, the release of the iPhone, the iPad, and other groundbreaking products, were often preceded by years of quiet work and development. Jobs understood that the value of Apple's products was not in the announcement or the build-up, but in the products themselves. When Apple's products were finally revealed, they spoke for themselves. There was no need for excessive boasting or self-promotion. The innovation, design, and utility of Apple's products were so clear that the world could see them for what they were: revolutionary. Elon Musk, another figure who embodies this concept, has taken a similar approach in his ventures with Tesla and SpaceX. While Musk is often very public about his vision for the future, he has also been known to keep the intricacies of his company's projects under wraps until they are ready to be revealed. The success of SpaceX's rocket launches, for example, was not preceded by weeks or months of public anticipation or self-promotion. Instead, Musk and his team focused on creating the best technology possible, and when the time came to launch their spacecraft or demonstrate their rockets, the results spoke volumes. Musk's quiet work in private has allowed him to build companies that are changing the world, and when he unveils his projects, they are undeniably impressive. The work is the story, and it's the results that truly capture the public's attention. Beyoncé, too, is a prime example of someone who lets her results speak without boasting. Known for her powerful performances and boundary-pushing albums, Beyoncé has always maintained a sense of mystery around her projects, revealing only what she feels is necessary at the right time. Her surprise album releases and groundbreaking visual projects, such as the album Lemonade, were carefully crafted in private, with little to no promotion or build-up before the official release. When her work was finally revealed, it was met with widespread acclaim, and the work itself became the conversation. She didn't need to explain or justify her creative choices. The quality of her music, the depth of her messages, and the power of her performances spoke louder than any words ever could. By allowing her results to speak for themselves, Beyoncé has built a legacy that is based on her craft, not on public opinion or premature promotion. This approach, focusing on results rather than the process, offers several key benefits. First, it builds credibility through action. not words. In a world where people are constantly making promises and announcing intentions, those who let their results speak gain respect and admiration in a more authentic way. When people see that you are consistently delivering quality work, they begin to trust you. They stop waiting for you to prove yourself, because your results do the proving for you. This credibility is far more valuable and enduring than the fleeting attention that comes with boasting or oversharing. Second, letting your results speak allows you to build a reputation based on your actual accomplishments rather than a public image. Too often, people focus on creating a brand, a persona, or a story around themselves, hoping that the narrative will be enough to sustain their success. However, without substantial results to back up that story, the brand quickly loses its credibility. When you let your work speak for itself, you ensure that your success is based on something real, something tangible. You create a reputation for excellence, for consistency, and for quality, qualities that are far more enduring than any narrative you can construct around yourself. The third benefit of focusing on results is that it cultivates a mindset of long-term thinking. When you focus on the end goal, rather than seeking validation in the short term, you build a sustainable path to success. Premature self-promotion often leads to burnout or disillusionment because it's driven by the need for immediate recognition rather than the drive to create something of lasting value. Chapter 7. Achieving long-term success through private mastery. In the age of constant visibility, where every step, tweet, and accomplishment is often shared with the world, it's easy to forget that sustainable success is not about the spotlight. It's about the quiet, relentless pursuit of mastery in private. The most successful individuals don't reach their goals and then stop. They continue to refine their craft, evolve their vision, and deepen their expertise in ways that are often invisible to the public eye. The spotlight may shine brightly for a time, but the foundation for lasting success is built through quiet, consistent mastery. Achieving long-term success, therefore, is less about enjoying temporary fame and more about remaining committed to your craft and values, even after the world has taken notice. Sustaining success after the spotlight requires a shift in mindset from seeking continuous attention and approval to focusing on long-term growth and improvement. Many people who experience sudden success or public recognition are faced with the pressure to keep performing at a high level, not only to meet their own expectations, but also to live up to the expectations of their audience. In these moments, the temptation to focus on public visibility, whether through social media, interviews, or other forms of promotion, can be overwhelming. However, the most enduring success stories are those of individuals who understand that true accomplishment isn't measured by constant external validation. Instead, it is measured by continued personal and professional growth, by deepening expertise, and by staying grounded in the work that originally led them to success. When you focus privately and master your craft away from the glare of public scrutiny, you create a strong foundation for sustainable success. This is the essence of true mastery, working diligently, day in and day out, to improve and refine your skills, even when no one is watching. In the early stages of any venture, there is a natural excitement and energy that comes from public recognition, but this can easily fade if the focus shifts too much toward maintaining that public image rather than on doing the work. True mastery is not achieved through one-off performances or temporary successes. It is cultivated through consistent effort, learning, and self-reflection. By dedicating time to improving your craft in private, you can weather the highs and lows of public recognition without losing sight of your long-term goals. The most successful individuals understand that public acknowledgement is fleeting, but mastery is forever. This is why many highly successful people intentionally retreat from the spotlight to focus on the continued evolution of their work. It's not that they avoid public visibility, but they do not allow it to be the driving force behind their decisions. Instead, they focus on becoming the best at what they do, and, as a result, their sustained success speaks for itself. They understand that mastery requires an internal drive, a desire to continuously grow and improve, that is independent of public validation. These individuals know that their value doesn't depend on the applause of others, but on their commitment to their craft, their vision, and their long-term goals. Focusing privately and mastering your craft also allows you to stay adaptable, flexible, and open to new opportunities. As the world changes, so too must your skills and knowledge. The most successful individuals are not static. They are constantly evolving. Mastery is not a destination. It's a journey that requires ongoing learning, experimentation, and refinement. By staying focused on private development, you give yourself the space to innovate, to challenge yourself, and to evolve without the distractions of outside judgment or pressure. This private space allows you to move at your own pace, to make mistakes without fear of them being broadcasted to the world, and to learn from your failures in a way that is constructive and purposeful. The importance of evolving your personal and professional life without the need for constant public acknowledgement cannot be overstated. In a world where social media influencers and celebrities often gain attention for their every move, it's easy to become distracted by the need to be seen, heard, and admired. But the people who achieve lasting success are often those who remain steadfast in their pursuit of growth, regardless of whether anyone is watching. They are not concerned with seeking praise for every step of their journey. Instead, they focus on making meaningful progress and improving their craft behind the scenes. They know that sustained success is not about performing for an audience. It's about continually pushing oneself to be better, to learn more, and to contribute in a meaningful way. When we become too focused on the need for public acknowledgement, we risk losing sight of the values and goals that truly matter to us. Public success is often accompanied by distractions, external opinions, shifting expectations, and pressures to perform. These distractions can cause us to compromise on our values or lose sight of our original purpose. When success is measured by how others perceive us, we become susceptible to external forces that pull us away from our deeper motivations. This is why it is so important to focus on the internal journey, on mastering your craft, and staying true to your purpose, rather than being driven by the external approval or recognition of others. Mastery in private helps ensure that we are not swayed by public opinions or pressures, but remain grounded in our values and long-term vision. Learning how to handle success without losing sight of your private values and goals is crucial for maintaining your integrity and direction. Success can sometimes bring with it a sense of entitlement or a belief that the work is done. But the reality is that true success requires a continuous commitment to improvement. It's not about resting on your laurels or becoming complacent. It's about using your success as a stepping stone to even greater achievements. Many people who experience rapid success struggle to navigate the pressures that come with it, whether it's the desire to maintain a public image, the demands of a growing business, or the expectations of followers or fans. The key to navigating these challenges is to remain grounded in your core values and focus on what really matters: your personal growth, your craft, and your long-term vision. The most successful people understand that their private journey, the time spent refining their skills, exploring new ideas, and evolving as individuals, is just as important, if not more so, than the public recognition they receive. They do not measure their worth by the accolades or applause they receive in the public sphere. Instead, they focus on becoming better versions of themselves, and, as a result, their success becomes a natural outcome of their commitment to mastery and their vision. This is why private mastery is so essential for long-term success. It allows you to stay focused on what matters most, without being distracted by the fleeting nature of public recognition. The key takeaway from this chapter is that the most enduring success comes from staying grounded in your private journey while enjoying the fruits of your labor in public. The spotlight may shine for a time, but the true foundation of your success lies in the quiet, consistent effort that takes place behind the scenes.